Hey y'all, this is Driver. So we're over on World of Warcraft, something a little different. I'm not sure how many people have very much familiarity with this. It's currently subscribed to my channel. So this is a game I've been playing since 2010, so approximately 14 years, but not in a row. Due to work and other things that's gone on in the past, I have not played all the time, every time. So there's a lot to this game. Over the years, there's been multiple expansions since I started playing, and it was multiple expansions before that. This game's been running production since 2004, if I remember right, when they released World of Warcraft. So anyhow, on here, what we're going to be doing for right now is I come on here a fair amount and do a lot of old content. I do run current and new content, but after a while, you kind of get bored or you just want something a little different to do. And playing a game like this, there is so much to do. So at times I go back and I run old content. So I was going to kind of take you guys along with me, one dungeon and raid at a time. So there will be several videos. I just don't know how quick I'll pump them out. Still in the process of moving, and we'll go over that as we get, moving along down the line. So for a start, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch you guys over to an add-on program that I use called CurseForge. It's pretty much the add-on everybody uses for a lot of add-ons and mods for several games. So let's get over there and then I'll show you guys kind of what I've got going on. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so like I was talking, so this is CurseForge. You can download this online. I'll see if I can get a download link for you and I'll put it in the description. So I'll make a note of that here in a minute. So in here, this is where you find add-ons for the game. Um, and there's several different games. I can get add-ons for my Sims, my Elder Scrolls, and there's even more than that. So it just kind of depends upon what you're playing. So anyways, once you get this installed, make sure you're on the WoW right here, World of Warcraft. And this here is all my add-ons. So I got a long list of add-ons. We're not going over all these. Some of these I have for just certain different things. So we're just going to go over what we need. So I highly recommend that you run Deadly Boss mods. Most people do. It has a lot of nice features to it, and with those, you're going to want to go through and get all the different packs for the different expansions, Cataclysm, their challenges, anything like that. So another thing I would recommend is get your interrupts because it can tell you when to do interrupts. In the beginning, if you're running a higher level character, you won't have to really worry about interrupt stuff. Everything's going to be kind of a one shot. Um, so I run that. Um, the other thing we're going to be using as well is called All the Things, and I'll show that on game here in a little bit. And that just kind of gives you a breakdown of what you are missing in a particular zone, dungeon, raid, things like that. So this is something I ran across about a year ago, I guess, or so, and I was really surprised at how much stuff I have not done in the game. So, um, looking through my list here, and bear with me, I apologize. Another one that I would recommend running would be Auctionator. And the reason why you want to run that is you can, um, as you're running through some of these dungeons and raids, you'll find stuff that you can't use, maybe your alts can't use, or you already know it, and you just want to get rid of it. Throwing things into the auction house might benefit you a little bit more than just selling it to a vendor. Now, just do your auctions however you feel that's better. I'm not going to go in real big depth on doing auctions. So I'll just scroll through here. Let me see what else. GTFO stands for get the you know what off. That just kind of helps you to make sure you're not standing in bad stuff on the ground that can hurt you, kill you, things like that. You have to excuse my throat. I apologize. Um, and that's a pretty nice one, and then it's pretty lightweight and it stays up to date pretty well. Another one is Handy Notes. Now, when we're going to dungeons and things like that, we're going for old content. It could be for transmog, it could be for collecting any kind of pets, whether it's battle pets, just companion pets, mounts, things like that. Handy Notes also has stuff that it shows mostly on the map, outside of instances of things that you can find for various things. There's achievements for the Pandaria treasures. There's achievements for all kind of different stuff. So that helps for that kind of stuff. And also you can find things that you're missing that way as well. It will show this on the map, and I will show this to you here in a little bit as well. So, and there's, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff that goes to Handy Notes. Um, let's see here. A lot of stuff you don't have to have that I have here. Um, So kind of ignore pretty much everything you see here. It's a lot of this is cosmetic or stuff that helps, like Voodoo, for example. If you're not familiar with Voodoo, that is a add-on for healing. And I don't do much healing, but it's kind of nice when I do. So that's pretty much all that here. When you're looking for these add-ons, you just go into the browse and just actually typing up here, like for example, DBM. Hit enter, and this shows you everything related to DVM. DVM is Deadly Boss Mods that I recommended earlier. So you can search for things that way. And just, go through and say, for example, you want this one, just install it. If you're unsure whether or not you think you might want it, you can click on it. You can read an overview of what it's about. You can look at a change log to see if there's been any remotely big changes. You can look at screenshots of what it may or may not do. And there's usually a list of versions as well. So there's a lot of information there. I actually come back here and look when I see updates. Like I have an update here for the core part of DVM. I'm not worried about it right now, but when I go back later and update this, I'm going to go and see what changed in the change log to see how much it benefits me. Okay, so we're not quite back in game yet, but I wanted to show this guy to you as well. For those that are not familiar, and keep in mind that this video is for the newer people, the people that don't know much about some of this stuff. So anyhow, this is a website called wowhead.com. I will also leave a link for this below in the description. But this here has just about anything and everything you want to know when it comes to World of Warcraft. Make sure that when you're in here, that when you go and search for something, you can look for quests, you can do all kind of different searches right here in the search bar. And just make sure that when you go search something, especially with some of the old stuff we're going to be running, it stays in retail and not classic. Now you can do a lot of this on classic, but obviously that's going to be more closer to current content, and some of the older stuff will still be a little harder to do. Not saying it's impossible, but it's going to be a little harder to do. But for most people that are doing this, they're going to be doing this in retail. So make sure that whenever you do a search, it goes to this retail and it doesn't highlight classic or cataclysm or anything else up here in the top. Now, while we're here, just a quick overview real fast, because I'm not going to go into 100% detail. This is kind of like everything that's going on today, this week, maybe this month. This here will show events. There's all kind of news articles you can read on here about kind of what's going on in World of Warcraft in general. So a lot of that's in here. Currently, there's an event going on right now called Pandaria Remix. So you can go up here and click on this, and this will kind of give you a throwdown of what's going on in the Pandaria Remix. And you can just kind of read through this, at your leisure, not right now, and kind of know what's going on. Also, in here, you can go to database, and this is where we're going to be running a lot of our stuff. For dungeons, you're going to want to come over here to instances, and you got to be careful because it will do that crap on you. I've never understood this website on that. But for example, let's say we're going to go into Classic and we're going to go to Molten Core. So you come over here and you can click on Molten Core, and I will leave a link to each of these as we do these. But here you can kind of get a quick overview of reading of what this instance is going to be, which this one's going to be a raid. This is actually an old 40-man raid or 40-person raid. And it'll give you a map. You can click on the map. It'll blow it up bigger. You can kind of get an idea. All the dots here, these green little dots, represent where a boss is located. So you want to go kill all these bosses, and do trash along the way, however you want to do it. And these are the encounters. These are all the bosses listed right here. And then you can go down even more and see what drops, what kind of gear there is in here. A lot of people do this for transmog. There are battle pets in here, which is interesting to me because battle pets didn't start until way past this raid was ever thought of. But you got all kind of information up here, and you can go to comments and look for information. If you're struggling with trying to find a fight, a boss, things like that, you can go into here and say you can't find Shazra. So you can click on Shazra, and it'll say, he's the 5th boss. Doesn't give us an image here or a map spot. Shows a picture there, which also you can go down here and find screenshots. These are user submitted screenshots of what he looks like. and you can go through and read the comments, and if it's one of those bosses that's hard to find, they might give you a little information on how to get to him. And keep in mind that some of these are old comments. This one's from 2006, so it's got a little age on it. But I wanted to show this website to you because we will be referring to this at times, just looking for certain information. I mean, sometimes with just here, if we go back, one, you're trying to figure out where exactly this is located, which is in Black Rock Mountain. So then you can click on that and there's Black Rock Mountain. Kind of helps you get to where you got to go. And as we do each one of these, I'll kind of show you how I get there, and sometimes it's not the fastest, but it's, a way there. So this is just an example. And like I said, I'll leave a link below. So see you back in the game. Okay guys, we're back in the game. Had to move the character a little bit. I was tabbed out while I was showing you the other two things on the website and CurseForge, and I went into AFK mode, so I had to move around to un-AFK myself. So anyhow, we are back on here. I'm now displaying my my UI, my HUD, everything. So we'll start with the first thing that you guys normally don't see, and this is this box here. I'm going to drag it out here so you can kind of see a little bit better. You can resize this to your likings. It's all up to you on that. The one downside is I have not found anything in the settings to where I can lock this. So you got to be careful. You can easily drag this off your screen. So, or drag it around. You go to move and you'll actually grab this and jerk it all over the place. It's a pain in the rear, but it is what it is. So anyhow, this here shows you a lot of information, and it can be very overwhelming. There's a lot of people that install this and they immediately uninstall it because it's too much for them, and I get it. So on here you'll see a variety of things, and in here you might see achievements, quests, and these are things that you have not done or acquired. So for example, these heirlooms is something I have not purchased yet, either on this character or in general. Most of the stuff that you see in here is account wide, but the quests are not. So it's going to be character wide just for those quests, for example. So each character receives their own exalted status with different places, and haven't done that on this character. This is an alt I don't play very often, but I wanted to show it with this because it shows more stuff that has not been done. So there's that, and I'm going to park that back over there and resize it real quick. The other thing was the Deadly Boss mods, DVM. I can't really show that here, but I can give you kind of an idea what's going on with it. It runs in the background most of the time only in raids or dungeons, but it also works in scenarios, and it does work in the general open world out here. If you stumble upon a rare boss, it will pop up and kind of chime at you and things like that, and it will show different stuff when it comes to fighting that boss. And it's during the fight. It's not just before the fight. So that kind of runs in the background, but it kind of helps you out. The GTFO, for an example, if you're down here on this here, and say you're fighting just one boss right here, and he drops a pool of something under you that will deplete your health over time, it will kind of scream in your ear to tell you to get off that spot, and you can turn back and start fighting the guy again, or girl, whoever it is you're fighting. So it's kind of nice. In these lower level dungeons and stuff we're going to be running, it's not going to be a huge concern. But as we get up into the closer to more current content, the more it'll become available and useful. So let me see, what was the other one that I talked about? Obviously, Wowhead is not in here. There is an add-on to install it for WoW, but all it is a data collection deal, and I've not messed with it yet, and I don't know if I will. Nothing against it. So, and then the last thing I'm going to show you guys is we're going to go into a dungeon for just a minute. We're not going to do no fighting or anything, but just kind of give you an idea of what I look at when we're in a dungeon. So we'll be right back once we get into a dungeon. Okay, so we are now inside of what's called an instance. This is actually a dungeon, but dungeons and raids and scenarios are considered as instances. There's a lot of other kind of instances as well. So we are in the Stockades, which is located in Stormwind City. We're not doing a run through here. More or less, I just came in here to kind of give you an idea of what you'll see with all the things here. So currently, I've actually been in here a few times. I switched over to my mage. There was way more completion on the shaman than I was on, so I have not been in here with this guy as much. So as you can see, there are a few things I have not collected. These are things I have not collected that are useful for this character. So it's going to be cloth only or weapon only, whatever this character can use, which is a mage. So that's going to vary depending upon other things. Now, as you go through and kill mobs through here, and you'll see as we go through other videos down the road, that as you kill some of these mobs and stuff, you will pick up stuff that's not bound to you that you could mail to your alt or put in the auction house or just straight out vendor it, plus all the trash and things like that. So there's that kind of stuff. Um, so that's pretty much that on that. Now, also too, what will be listed here, which is not, because I've already done them, is quest. Some dungeons have quest. And this was a quest giver right here. I double checked with him and he has nothing for me. So that means I've already done the quest. But if you haven't done the quest, they would be listed here as well. Now, also what would be listed here would be companions, mounts, anything of that nature would be listed here that you could collect. So, um, so there's that. And that's pretty much what you're going to be looking at in a dungeon. You know, also too, you're going to have your bosses listed here, and you may have bonus objectives down here. Might be more bosses, might have something to do with the quest. It can vary on those. So, um, and that's pretty much inside the dungeon. So we're going to look at one other thing that I just remembered to mention to you guys, and we got to go to another location for that, and I'll show you that here in a minute. So we'll be back. Okay, so I'm going to hope and I'm going to assume that you have Wrath of the Lich King. This is a way old expansion. It was not even out when I started playing in 2010. So we are in Dalaran in Wrath of the Lich King, which is Northern. Now, right now, there's a whole lot of stuff going on. Time walking is going on, so this is a pretty busy neighborhood. So if you teleport over here, or take a portal over here, you'll end up in that room at this place. And we're just gonna walk this time. I can probably get on a mount, but we're not gonna fly. I'm gonna kind of show you how to walk over here, just so you know where we're going. Um, and you're gonna want to come to over here, and you see these tundra and stuff like that. And you want to talk to this guy. Now you're gonna need a little coin for this, but you're gonna want to buy this Traveler's Tundra mammoth. And this Traveler's Tundra, and I'll show you what it does. I have it. It gives you a vendor. Gives you actually two different vendors. One that does repairs and one that does not. They both sell things as well. This one sells some food and drinks. This one here sells some other stuff. But as you're going through your raids, you can sit there and sell off all this junk. Now ignore all this because he's doing other stuff because he don't get ran a whole lot. So you can sell off stuff. Now a lot of dungeons you won't be able to use a mount in, and we're gonna have to go to another spot, and I'll show you what to get for that. But if you're in a zone that you can get on your mount, even if it's just for a periodic minute, you know, you walk through an outside area and then you gotta go back in through a door, you can at least jump on this, sell off a bunch of stuff, make some more room to continue on without filling up your bags before you leave. So we're gonna pause them for a minute and we're gonna jump over to one other spot. Another thing that is actually kind of nice to have, and I'm gonna show that to you here in just a second. So we'll be right back. Okay, so now we are back in the game here, and so what we're looking at here is we're currently looking at achievements right now at the moment. Now, another thing that I have on here is called a Guild Herald. It's this button right here that I put here on my bar. And what he does is he's basically a vendor. He has a 4-hour cooldown. That's why I do not want to summon him right now, because I might want to go run something. I don't know what I'm going to do after I finish this video. But anyhow, when you summon him, he's out for approximately 5 minutes. You can sell things to him. Pretty much anything sellable you can sell to him. He's not a guild bank or anything like that. He's just a straight out vendor. But you can use him anywhere, including inside buildings, raids, you name it. So now the odd part is that I have this. I've had this for years, but now it's locked under this achievement called profit sharing. You got to loot 100,000 gold from creatures. So check this achievement and see if you have it. This is called a Guild Herald, which I will try to remember to link or put a link in the description for you on that as well. So other than that, just a couple of the quick notes to go by. So running old raids and old dungeons and stuff like that, it's more user preference. depending upon how you want to do things and how you want to play. Now, this is my hunter. He's my main. I've been playing him for years. Um, so you can use any character you want, but certain characters have some special abilities for you that will help you out. Um, Doing these on a mage is actually pretty nice because with all the portals, as long as you know all the portals, or most of them at least, help you get around really quick. And it's pretty nice. I do know that engineers has something like that, but I don't know how it works. I've never fooled with it, even though I have a character with engineering. Um, Other than that, just having a general knowledge of your portals. Now, mind you, I am playing Alliance. It's pretty obvious on that, but this can all be done on Horde. All the add-ons I've told you about can also be used on Horde. Um, and just knowing those portals to get around helps out a lot too. So if you hop around between Alliance and Horde, it will help to get an understanding of your portals. Um, Another advantage of a toon would be a rogue. Now, rogues have lockpicking, which is pretty nice. So, in certain dungeons, especially in Classic, there'll be a lot of lock boxes, and they won't look exactly like this, but they'll look similar. They'll be smaller, and you hover over it, and it'll say, open chest, down in the bottom corner, usually down around here somewhere. Um, but sometimes they're locked, and you can't open them. And I was going to be a smart cookie one day, so a blacksmith can make keys. He can make ghost keys, more or less, and those can open those boxes. Well, so I gave it to my hunter. My hunter is a leather worker and a skinner, and he cannot use those keys because he's not a blacksmith. So that's something else to keep in mind. If you're running around with a character that has blacksmithing, but they're not a rogue, go make you a bunch of keys. It's just a matter of getting the mats. There's different kind of ghost keys that you can buy, or actually not ghost keys, or skeleton keys. And there's different ones that range for opening boxes. I think from level 10 going up to at least I think level 30, if I'm remembering right. It's hard. I can't really remember. It's just convenient, and it also helps you with unlocking lock boxes you get in your inventory as well in your bags. So I'm sure I'll think of more stuff that can be useful, but that'll probably just come at a different time. So anyhow, I hope this is helpful, and I hope you all tag along for some of the runs, and I will catch you guys later. See ya.